Hey everybody, and welcome. Today I wanted to make another spread in that journal I've used in my last video, and I want to combine some transparent layers with some more intuitive work. It's been a while that I played more in my art journal with more collage and layering, and I feel that I need to do that at the moment. I would really like to start the page by putting something down, and maybe I will do some stamping first. I'm using, I think I'm going, sorry for the noise, I'm going to use these ones here. I'm not sure if this page is the right surface because it's very textured. There are some pages in here, let's go with that. There are some pages that are smooth, it's always alternating, and some that are more textured, and I think stamping, oh, let's work on this page because stamping directly is better on a page where I have nothing behind. So I'm going to use that. I'm just lining up that stamp, these stamps. This is one stamp usually, but I cut it apart, and with this I'm able to just use it separately, the elements, or just combine it in a different way. I am just cleaning it a bit because it seems to be a bit dirty. I think there is some paint on there. I'm going to stamp with Stays On, and maybe I'm thinking about masking that, but if I want to use collage, it's a bit difficult, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm just stamping that directly to the paper. Oops, that did not work. I don't know why. I think it's because of the book and because of that piece. So let's just flip the pages and use the next one. And this time I will use the other page later and just glue something over the top or make a collage background, whatever. Let's try it again, and I put a piece of foam underneath the page, which makes it easier to stamp because it gives it a better surface and something to sink into. Yeah, that worked quite nicely, and I really like these elements. I'm wondering if I should add one of them also to the top, like if it was coming from the top. Let's use that one. I pretend as if there was a frame, a white frame around that. I'm not sure if I can stay inside that invisible frame when I'm working, but I would just try it. I don't want to go right to the edge. I would like to add a bit more stamping just to bring in a texture to the background and some interest. I also want to do some marks with pencils. Maybe I will just keep on creating that kind of frame by stamping directly to it. And I will also do it here. That's nice. I don't want to overdo it, so I don't want to do too much to the background. Let's take this image as well. I will link up all the stamp sets I'm using to the video description. I'm just looking which direction is right. And now you have the option to make some scribbles with either a water soluble or a non-water soluble pencil. And I think I would like to do maybe both. I'm just going to make some marks with that. It's a forest green pencil, the Derwent Lightfast, doesn't matter which pencil it is. And I just make some scribbly marks. I'm trying to make one area that is a bit fuller of marks, so there I have more going on, and here's a bit of a white space that is that's balancing out the energy of this piece, of this part. And let's go also for a water soluble one. Let's use the mustard from the Derwent Inktense. I'm not sure how much it will mix with water once I go on top, over the top. We will see, because that paper is not the best, and I haven't primed it so far. So we're going to prime it now, just by using different mediums. I will now adhere some collage bits and pieces with the clear gesso, and that's also going to be my primer. And then I'm going to add in more color. Yeah, okay, and once that is covered up with gesso, it will not dissolve, but maybe the gesso will just mix it a bit and gives me some different textures. For my layers, I want to play a bit with transparency, and this is a kind of a rice paper. I got this, I think from my sponsored haul I did in the past. I will try to find it, but I have no idea. It's a very thin paper, and it gives me some transparency when I use it over the top of something. I think I will place this here, and that's stamped also with a stamp and acrylic paint, white acrylic paint. And let's see, what else do we have? Here I have some left over. That's a calligraphy paper, Chinese or Japanese, whatever, I don't know. Kind of a calligraphy paper with these grid patterns, and I have stamped this with several vintagey images, and I'm going to use this. What's also really nice would be an old tea bag to glue down. That gives some really interesting textures, and it's also a bit more transparent. But I think I'm just going to use maybe what's on my desk. What about this? Just small pieces of paper. That's a kind of a stationery paper from a scrapbook paper pad. I hope I'm not talking too what means it? Not loud enough? Quietly? I don't know the word for it in English. I'm sorry. Yes, I like that. it's quite simple, and I will just use that clear gesso and adhere that to the background. I'm using, wait a minute, I'm just going to, I have to search for my, oh, there it is, a bigger silicone brush. I'm using that silicone brush. It's a bit dirty. I don't mind if this comes off. And I will now glue that down. Yeah, the black of the brush is coming off a little. I do not really mind that. Oh, it's a bit, oops. It's a bit difficult to not tear that piece of paper because it's so thin, and once it's wet, it's easy to tear. Maybe I'm going to clean that so it does not dirty up my page even more. Oh, that's the same here. It's also tearing the paper, and the gesso is not the best glue. Of course, the matte medium might work a bit better, but I think as the paper is so thin, it does not matter. Just putting it back together. The gesso just does not adhere immediately the piece to the background, so it moves around until it's completely dry. But I think once it's dry, there is no other issue. I will just add a bit more of that gesso and cover the whole background, so I can work on top of that. I do not really like that I messed up this white edge here because of using that dirty brush, but maybe I will just cover that with some white paint later to fix it. I'm now going to let that dry completely, and then I will go on top with some color. My page is dry, and I want to go in with a little bit of acrylic ink for now. And I'm using that Antelope Brown from De La Rowney again. I think I've used it already in my on my last page, and that's one of my favorite colors. I use it a lot also in my sketchbook because you can fill acrylic markers with it, and I think that's really lovely. And it's just a super nice natural color, greenish brown, I would say. Very nice. Seems at this area I have not applied gesso. I don't mind. So I have different textures here. That's also interesting. I don't want to overdo it, and I really like these dark spots here, and maybe I will make some splatters with that ink. Oh, that's really nice. I'm already so happy with that spread. I'm not sure if I will add a lot to it. I would like to mix kind of a complementary color, and as I have this already on the plate, I maybe will mix it with something bluish to create a greenish shade. And I would like to make a dark green, and I have these colors here. I also used them last time, and you have to shake them quite a lot. Because with some pigments, it seems the binder separates from the pigment. Let's see. No, it's okay with this color. I will just use a little bit of that and then mix it with the antelope brown. It's a Prussian blue, by the way. And it's a nice fluid color. Oh yeah, and that gives such a lovely dark greenish blue. It's amazing, and I think that works so nice with this. It's almost black when you add it purely to the page. I think I'm just going to switch brushes because it's that's quite a big, and the other one was so small. I just want to have not the biggest brush, but also not the smallest, and add a little bit of water to blend that in. Now I have a lot of this color left. I definitely have to use this on another project before it dries out. I love that. It works so nice. I don't want to cover up all the white space. I think I'm going up to the top here a bit and bring that down. And I want to make it a bit blotchy, maybe. In the areas where I have a lot of stamping, I tend to also add a little bit of color or more color, because stamping alone is maybe a bit boring. I think it's a nice way to add texture. So I try to keep the areas with a simple pattern as the white space. Well, there is not a lot white space, but a little bit, and you need a little bit white space. I also want to make some splatters with that, as it looks so nice with the brown ink. Lovely. And I think I will not add a lot, maybe a focal image, and maybe I'm going to draw a leafy shape. I'm not sure if I should draw on top of that background because I love the background so much. For now, I'm letting this dry, and then I'll come back and we will finish that page together. My page is dry, and what I did with the leftover was I made this background, the leftover inks, and I recorded this to put it into my members video next time in 2 weeks or in 1 week. I think if today is Saturday, then it will be next week. So I made this background, and I have cut out this image. I drew this yesterday evening just for fun. I made some leaves. Maybe I will make a stamp set out of them. I really like that, and now I'm a bit unhappy that I did not take a photo of it. But now I can take a photo and then just recreate that. But I'm going to use this, and I also have this piece left from that paper that I used already on the background. And I think I'm going to collage that here and then the leaf over the top. And I also cut some words from our Mix a Sentiment stamp set to create a sentiment. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to adhere these images or these papers. Maybe I will put it right to the out edge. Maybe we will fix that. Maybe just with a white neocolor, so it's not as dirty anymore. I'm not sure how high I should glue it. I think I will do it like so. And then I'm going to put the words down. These are embossed. Embossed with white embossing powder onto black paper. I'm really happy how this page turned out. It's quite a loose page. And it was a lot of fun creating it. I hope you enjoyed that as well. That was the second video I made without doing a voiceover. I just talked through the video, and if the sound is okay, I will just leave it as it is. Just let me know if you like that, if you don't mind, or if you prefer the voiceover. Yeah, I hope you are inspired. I wish you a lovely weekend, and I will leave you with a photo of the finished page. Jump over to the blog to have a closer look at the finished page, and we will see us next time. Bye.